We're going to go now to a deadly domestic dispute. A Detroit man taking his own life after police say he shot and killed his girlfriend with two of her children and her mother in the same home. This tragic case of domestic violence unfolding hours after another one sent two women to the hospital and police launching a search for that man responsible. Today's 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham learning new information about the mother killed, and he's talking to those who are on the front lines, helping victims of domestic violence find a way out.
That latest deadly domestic violence incident in Detroit happened right here on Shaftesbury Street. According to police, the victim's family says it was out of the blue.
According to the family, they have not been arguing. There hasn't been a history of domestic violence between the two.
The sad scene began unfolding late Tuesday night. Detroit police say a man shot and killed his girlfriend before turning the gun on himself. The couple, both in their 30s, lived in her mother's home on Shaftesbury near Outer Drive. 5 people were home at the time, including the victim's mother and 2 of her 3 children. The shooting happened in an upstairs bedroom.
Sometimes, unfortunately, the first act of violence is the last act of violence.
Jenny Hooper, the interim director of First Step, says oftentimes her organization will hear that no one saw a violent episode coming.
And that might be that because, the survivor, and unfortunately in this case, the victim may not have shared any information with anybody or reached out or felt safe enough to.
Hooper says victims will often look for reasons why the abuser is doing what they're doing.
We don't want to believe that the person that we love or that has expressed that they love us would be willing to cause harm.
Investigators say the suspect in this case suffered an undisclosed mental illness, which may or may not have been a factor.
When someone is navigating maybe some mental illness, there can be that overlap where, there's some struggles. However, it's not what is causing the domestic violence.
Regardless of one's mental state, she says domestic violence is a choice. Another domestic violence incident in Detroit Tuesday led a special response team to converge on a home on the east side. But police say that suspect is still on the run.
A lot of times, domestic violence that starts with just simple assault and battery leads to violence, much worse, that can ultimately lead to death if you don't seek help. If you are a family member and you're aware of a loved one who is suffering from domestic violence, the worst thing you can do is turn your back on them. You have to stay vigilant and be there for them when they need you. It can be very frustrating at times, but you have to stay in their lives, because when you turn your back, that's when the assailant wins.
On the west side, Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
Darren, thank you. And if you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, we urge you to reach out for help. You can call or text Michigan's hotline anytime, any day of the year. You see the number right there on your screen, 866-VOICE-DV.